Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited for today's video because even though it is March, we are setting up my brand new planner. I don't know if you guys noticed, but this planner looks very similar to the Hobonichi weeks. Now, if you know anything about me, I have been a Hobonichi girl through and through, probably for a couple years now. These are my two that I used in 2025. This here is the Hobonichi weeks for 2025, and then this is the Hobonichi Techo. I think it's Techo, I think that's how you say this. I use this a lot more like a junk journal, just a regular journal. I spent a few months in here doing this for about half the year, maybe a third of the year, which really sucks, really hurts my soul because she was super expensive. I really did enjoy the Techo. This was a new addition to my planner ecosystem last year. Kind of ran into the same issue last year with my weeks. I did use it a little bit more. I got through till about October time, but I did move last year in May, and my life has been pretty hectic since then, which I probably would have benefited from continuing to use these. I did move last May. I'm in grad school. I started a new job, and so it was just like a lot going on at once. So I kind of dropped off of my planner ecosystem. So I definitely did not have time to utilize this journal kind of and like daily planner as much as I would have liked to. So I dropped off of this like about June of last year, unfortunately. So this is only partially filled, but I really did enjoy it. And maybe someday I'll jump back into a sort of planner journal like this. I think for right now, I'm not going to get involved in like a daily planner journal like that again, just because I am finishing up grad school in May, which is so exciting. And so hopefully maybe after that I can think about picking one up, or even waiting until next year so I can give it a full go. But that was new last year and I really enjoyed it. And then for the Hobonichi weeks, I have been using one of these for 2 or 3 years now. I really enjoy the layout of it. It really works for me when I use it. I'm really hoping that I can push myself to use a planner for the rest of the year. I think it would be really beneficial for me. So I definitely have a lot of stuff happening this year, just in general outside of school, just with my job, events, things going on like that. And I think overall it would help me feel less stressed, but it's just like the thought of the initial like getting myself into it is a little daunting, but I know that this has worked for me in the past, so I need to just get back into doing it because I can definitely tell that I'm like missing that in my life right now. So even though it is March, halfway through March actually, I have picked up this new planner. It is not Hobonichi. I went with a cheaper option this year, although I do love Hobonichi. One, with all of the tariffs and crazy stuff going on right now, they are so expensive, so expensive, or they take way too long to get here. I think right now on Amazon, the weeks are about 40 or over 40, and it takes them at least a month, 3 weeks to get here, and that just was not gonna work for me. I'm too impatient. I need a planner now. I also knew that I wasn't starting at the beginning of the year. I'm missing out on 2.5 months of using a planner, so I didn't really feel like I wanted to spend $40 on something that I wasn't gonna be using the whole year, even though obviously last year I spent a good chunk of money and I didn't end up using it all year, so that's a little unfortunate, but I just didn't want to start the year not using it and then feel like I spent a lot of money on something that I wasn't able to use at the beginning of the year. So there are a lot of reasons as to why I wanted to get a cheaper option this year, and I'm getting back into using a planner again, and I just didn't want to spend the $40 just in case like I couldn't bring myself to do it if I got too busy again this year. So let's go into a top-down view and I can tell you all about this planner. We can unbox it, set it up, and I will also compare and contrast this between the weeks in case anyone is curious. Okay, hopefully this angle is good, but this is the Sunni 2026 3.66 by 7.44 inch planner. It is important to note that it's the tabbed weekly and monthly one as well. There's one with the same layout as this that's bigger. If you want one that's very similar to the weeks, definitely make sure you get this one. I will have it linked below in case anyone wants to grab one. I think they have it in black, green, and blue. I was originally gonna get the green one. They didn't have it in stock anymore and I was really impatient, so I was able to grab the black one instead, which I do not mind. I think it looks really good, and I'm gonna cover it in stickers anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So just to compare, here's a size comparison. They are the exact same size. As you can see, the Sunni one does have an elastic, and then the Hobonichi does not. The Hobonichi has the year here in the middle, and then the Sunni one is up here at the top. All right, let's go ahead and open the Sunni one, and then we will compare the pages from this one to the one in the weeks. I forgot to mention too, this one does have a pen loop if that's something that you are interested in. And now let's take a look at the inside of this planner. I've heard good things about the paper. It's very similar apparently to the Hobonichi. I will test it out and see, and maybe I'll post an update somewhere. But here on this front page, we have all of the calendar months here and the dates. And then we actually also have 2027, which is nice. We've got a place for some personal information, contact list. This is something that isn't in the Hobonichi, just an important dates thing, something to jot down, which honestly, this might be helpful for me. Sometimes, like, I just want to write things down to kind of remember if they aren't things that are set in stone in the future. And I hate like writing it on the actual days of the month and then that thing not actually happening and taking up space. So I actually might utilize this a lot. So we will see. Okay, so it looks like this starts in October. I think it's just the full page calendars that start in October, but that's nice. If you do like grab one early for the next year, you can start writing in it. But it goes through December, and then we have January. Okay, so it has the full month calendar here, it looks like, and then it goes right into your weeks. So we have the first week of January, and it's very similar with the planner layout here, and then you have a blank dotted page on the other side. And then it goes through January. And then I think, yep, we'll get a full page month here, and then we'll go back into more weekly spreads. So let's see what we have going on in the back of the planner. I'm just flipping through here just to make sure there's not anything else. Okay, let's go to the end of December. And then we do have blank pages in the back, which is very similar to the weeks. And I think that's really all. And then a holiday list for 26, 27, and 28. And then is this a pocket? It is a pocket. This seems to have a lot more features than the Hobonichi Weeks does, which does make it really enticing for me. The pen loop is nice. I do like having this elastic here, even though I don't know if I am going to use it, just because I think I can steal this cover off of my weeks and use it. So I don't know if I will be using this because you won't be able to use it with the cover on it. But that is nice. And it also does have the same two ribbons like the Hobonichi Weeks does. Definitely not as many pages. I feel like maybe the Hobonichi Weeks has some extra stuff in the back, but I never really use those. But I do really like this pocket because in my weeks, I did put a little pocket in there to hold stuff. So that's nice. So now let's compare it to the Hobonichi Weeks. So just laying them side by side here. We do have this first page here. The weeks does go back an entire year. Then the Sunni one goes 1 year ahead. So that's interesting. The weeks has this setup. I've never used it ever. Not for me. And then it starts in December. And if we flip through all of this that the weeks does not have, we'll get to our first entire month, which this one goes back to October, like I said, and this one starts in December. And then we've got January here, February, March. It goes all the way through. So you have all of your months here at the front. And then the actual weeks of this starts in November. So then if we flip to, we got January, and then we start end of December, beginning of January. So the weeks does start a little bit earlier in terms of the actual weekly layouts. So again, if that's something important to you where you want to start earlier in a new planner, maybe the weeks is the way to go. Just because, again, the Sunni really does start at the beginning of the year. But otherwise, the layout is very similar. As you can see here, the Sunni does have like a white paper, and the weeks is more of a cream colored paper. But in terms of like paper feel, honestly, the Hobonichi feels a lot thinner than that of the Sunni. Very, very, very similar layouts. They have, you know, what month you're in here. And then up at the top, it says what month, and then it tells you what week you're in, and this has the actual days here, and then the days are listed on the side. So very, very similar layout, just a lot simpler, I feel like, in the Sunni than in the Hobonichi. But I do definitely like the gridded paper better than the dotted, but most of the time I write over this. I put big sticky notes here, so really it's not that big of a deal. I'm not using it that much anyway. And then another thing to note is down here at the bottom, it does show you at what point in the month you are, which I do like that, but again, I don't really feel like it's a deal breaker, and if I really wanted it, I could put it down here myself. So yeah, just some compare and contrast between these two here. So let's go ahead and skip back to the back, because again, we go straight into blank pages here in the Sunni, and then we just have this holiday list. So let's look and see here at the back of the Hobonichi just what we got. Okay, so the first page, abbreviations, there's a place for notes, and you can kind of organize them here. Again, not a deal breaker for me. And you have a bunch of blank pages, but I don't really use this a ton. I definitely feel like the Hobonichi has a lot more of these blank pages. And then there's just like some random stuff back here, like a little measuring ruler thing. And then back here, there's like a place to like list your favorite things. Again, I've never used this. There's a top 100 list, and then just some like little simple icons and stuff about like how to mark your different things. There's a 365-day checkoff sheet, and then a place to put like addresses and names, phone numbers, that type of thing back here. Very similar to the front page of the Sunni planner. And then back here, just some more information, like their socials, that kind of thing. And then the back. So as you can see, I did put a little pocket here last year in my Hobonichi to have, because I did like having it, even though the cover does have some pockets in it. I just liked having it. So I do like that the Sunni one has that in it. And then in the cover that I bought, it has this like, it's supposed to be used like as a bookmark. But I did use it to close this. I put a little, not the cutest, but a little piece of Velcro here, so I could close up my planner, which is not a problem with the Sunni one because it does have this loop. Some of the stickers came off. They don't stick super well to the canvas style of the Hobonichi Weeks, but the Sunni one is actually like leather, so stickers should stick to this a lot better as well. They are a little bit different in thickness. The Sunni one is a little bit thicker, I think, than the Weeks. I don't know if it's because the paper seems to be thicker or if it's the cover that's thicker, but again, something to note. It's not like super noticeable, but definitely there. Hopefully you guys found this useful, comparing the two of them, and helping you decide on if you should go with a Hobonichi Weeks or the Sunni planner. But again, I think they're very, very similar. I think this one will suit all my needs for right now. Again, I don't feel a need to spend $40 on a planner, especially if I'm not going to be using it for the full year. So I'm really excited to try out the Sunni. So I think to start, before we even get to the inside of this planner. We are going to decorate the outside. I brought out a ton of my stickers, so I'm just gonna have a heyday and kind of decorate the front, maybe decorate the back. We'll see what I decide, but I do know that I definitely want to use this Korok sticker that I have. Sometimes I do leave the backing on stickers, especially for things like these planners that I'm gonna have a cover on. I'll leave the backing on the stickers and then just use a piece of tape to like stick it down because I'll put a cover on top of it. But apparently I did pull the backing off of this, so, and it's very sticky still, so I want to use it. I do kind of think I want to put it on the back just because I did use it last year, so I stared at it a lot the entire year. So I think I'm just gonna stick this, I think I'm just gonna stick him back here on the back. I do love this sticker a lot, but I have a lot of stickers and these are not even all of them. I love these little otter stickers. I got them from a stationery store. There's just like different like little, I don't know, poses and stuff of this little otter. I do love these. I think I'll use them if I need a filler, but I have so many other stickers that I need to use. I think I'm gonna work on those first. I've got a ton of stuff in this little pouch. This came from an art museum, and I bought this. It had Keith Haring stickers in it. I think there's some, yeah, back here in the back still. Super cute. I have a lot of cute ones. I really do like this Snoopy one. This like lemon meringue pie Pichu sticker is really cute. I have this Kirby one. This Miffy one. This My Neighbor Totoro one that I really like. It came in a set with this one that's on my cousin. I love this bear one. I did have this one on my Kindle. Again, see, I used washi tape to stick it down. I'm kind of like seeing a blue theme, and I really kind of do like that. But we'll see. We'll see what I have. I have this Dragonite sticker. It's supposed to look like a little plushie. This sticker of a dog. Little Chihuahua. A Dutch Bros sticker. Some of my Keith Haring stickers. A Labubu sticker. I do kind of like him. I don't know, we might use him. I have this Let's Go Gambling sticker with like blind boxes and cute stuff on it. And then I do have this Zelda sticker. And then more Keith Haring. And then I have some more like really big stickers. This Squirtle's not huge. I have this really big Spirited Away one that maybe I'll use. I might put it on the back or something. And then I also have this really big Animal Crossing one. But I might stick it on the back if it will fit. No, it's too wide. Darn it, okay. And I think this one's too tall. Dang it. Okay, I don't want to put them on the front because I think they're going to take up way too much space. I mean, obviously I can't use this one, but this one would literally take up almost the entire thing. So I think I'm going to hold off on these. Okay, I think I'm going to work on this. I also have a ton of really small stickers. So I think I'm just going to work on this. I'll probably speed this up really quick while I decorate the front. Okay, I think I'm done. I did like a blue to like green gradient, and then I just put a few random ones on the back. I didn't go too crazy on the back, but just a few little guys. But the front is banging. Now I'm gonna try to put the cover on. Hopefully it fits. I've read that it works. So I'm just gonna have to try. This is what it's looking like so far. You can, and I can still close it. It would be a lot easier without that pin loop there, but. And then the pocket is still usable. Let's get into decorating our first week. Today is actually the 13th, so I might decorate this page loosely, just kind of the way I usually like to have it, and then we will be all set and good to go. I will show you in my weeks how I like to set up my pages. Okay, this is kind of how I like to set my weeks up. I like to either put a piece of washi tape here to split it, or use a highlighter or something to split this up. I usually like to have like events on one side and then tasks on the other, but as you can see, I do like to decorate it, draw on it, put stickers, washi tape, whatever. And then I do like to have this split. I usually do things going on one side and then like a to-do list for that day on the right hand side. Obviously I didn't do a great job at doing that, but I did put things going on the left hand side. But that's kind of how I like to have mine set up. So I'm gonna set this one up very similarly. I think I'm just gonna keep it really simple just because most of this week is already over. So I am just going to take a piece of washi tape, cut it really badly, and then run it kind of down the middle. I'm just gonna kind of guess where the middle is. It's not perfect, but again, this week is mostly over, so I'm not like super concerned about this being perfect. I just want to set it up how I normally would. And then sometimes I'll stick like a sticky note or a post-it note or something on this side, and kind of write just like a weekly to-do list. And sometimes I'll do a tracker down here, just like tracking like drinking my water, washing my face, that type of thing, going to the gym. Obviously not for this week, again, because this week is almost over, so I'm not going to be able to track anything, and I don't really have any weekly tasks because, again, we are reaching the end of this week. So, and then usually I throw some stickers in here, just some fun random stuff. I'm trying to find something fun I want to use. Maybe we could do some stars in here. Obviously doesn't match perfectly. And maybe I'll stick this sun up here in the corner so it's like day and night. Maybe? What else do I got? I could do like a Kiki or Lala over here. Maybe. Actually, let's do this one because there's a yellow star. Welcome back with a slightly different angle. My phone died, so I had to get the charger and move it a little bit closer to the wall. But this is kind of how I have it set up, where I have it split, and I just stuck some stickers in here. So then what I will do, if I had any events or things going on, I'd stick them here on this left-hand side. And then here on this right-hand side, I like to do like a to-do list. So today is Friday the 13th, so usually I'd put things like, oh my gosh, this pen is not working. Film, video, after work. And then once I'm done with that, I'll usually just mark it off. And then maybe I will stream later. So I'll put stream Pocopia question mark. And then maybe I'll just tell myself to edit this weekend. And I also need to ship out some Etsy orders. So I'll put that on my to-do list for today. And then if that doesn't happen, usually I'll cross it out like that and then just move it to a different day. But if I actually complete it, I'll mark the actual little bubble there. So that's kind of how I like to have my week set up. Obviously next week will definitely be a lot bigger. I'll probably decorate it a lot more, but I think that's what I'm gonna work with for this weekend, again, just because I'm using it for a few days. And then next week we'll go all out. So yeah, this is my completed planner for the year. Okay, this is a totally different angle than the intro that I just filmed, but it's fine. Thank you guys so much for watching me set up my new planner. Again, this is a Sunni planner. I will have it linked below if anybody is interested. I'll also probably link this cover that I'm using. But yeah, here's my new planner for the year. I'm super excited. I'm really excited to use it for a full year and kind of see how it compares, like paper quality wise, and just how it upholds throughout the year compared to the Hobonichi. I will definitely do an update video once I've lived in this for a while, maybe even towards the end of the year after I really put some time and energy into using this. Obviously, I can't give a review right now because I'm just now starting to use it, but I really like it so far. I do like a lot of the features that it has. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Down in the comments, let me know what your planner setup is for the year. Have you tried Sunni before? Are you a Hobonichi only type of person? Are you willing to try the Sunni? I don't know. Let me know how you guys are using your planners in 2026. I am really interested to hear about it, and maybe I can get some ideas from you guys on how you guys use your planners, or if you use a multiple planner system like I was at the beginning of last year. maybe you'll inspire me, but we'll see. Just let me know down in the comments. I really appreciate you guys for being here, continuing to watch my videos. I really appreciate it. You guys have no idea. Like, comment, subscribe. All my other links to social media are down below. Not to plug myself, but I am streaming on Twitch again. I have been playing through Pokopia, so really excited to continue that playthrough. You guys should see an edited version of those playthroughs up on this channel here soon, but if you want to come hang out with me live and watch me play, the link for that is down below. It's fearosaur, the same as all my social media. So if you're interested, I'd really be excited to chat with you guys while I stream. But other than that, have a wonderful day, you guys. Thank you, and bye.